Shalom Lakam. This is a very important topic. Stop robbing Yahuah. Malachi chapter 3, verse 6 through 15 speaks concerning the Israelites returning back to Yahuah, but it also speaks of tithes. Verse 6, For I am Yahuah, I change not. Therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your father, ye are gone away from my ordinances, and have not kept them. What ordinances have the Israelites not kept? According to Malachi, it's tithes. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith Yahuah of hosts. But ye said, Wherein shall we return? Will a man rob the Almighty? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, Wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and in offering. So when we ask Yahuah, where are we going to return? He brings up tithes. Yahuah said for us to gather together. And I ask myself, where are we going to gather? How are we going to return to him? But without tithes, that is a very good question. It's really difficult for us to return and gather together without money. Because the tithes goes to the government. And the government is for the people. The tithes served many purposes, and it wasn't just for the priests to eat. Oh no. The tithes paid the singers. The tithes had food on the side for the poor or the widow. The tithes also gave for the feast days. Okay. The purpose for the tithes was to run the government. To run the government for the nation of Israel. And in our times, Yahuah said for us to gather together. It's just logical. How can the nation return if the nation doesn't support the nation to return? Malachi 3:9 is very clear. Ye are cursed with the curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Malachi 3:10. Bring ye the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. Now herewith, and prove me now herewith, saith Yahuah of hosts. If I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour out a baruch, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. Yahuah said for you to test him. Yahuah has always allowed us to try him and test him. I could make a whole video about this, and you know what? That's a good topic for another day. I will do that. I'll make a video about all the times Yahuah said for to test him. We're supposed to test him. So if we put 10% of what we earn or what we grow, I don't know how we're going to do that. I really don't. I grew some tomatoes. I don't know how to give my tomatoes. I just don't know. But I do know how to give money that I earn from working. I can put that in the bank, and I could buy some food that I can store. We just don't currently now. Maybe you do. Know how to save the fruit of our crops. That is something we should learn. Be that as it may, Yahuah said that if we give to him, there'll be not even enough room to store what we give him. Malachi 3, verse 11. I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your land. Neither shall your vine cast her fruits before the time in the field, saith Yahuah of hosts. Think about it, you guys. Many people, I know many of you guys are probably right now on your homestead thinking you're going to grow some food and, the man ain't coming for you. But the man is coming for people who are growing their food and being self-sufficient. You already know this. But right here, Yahuah says that he will rebuke the devourer from coming to you. Yahuah uses the hand of man to basically punish his people. And so if you're not keeping the ordinance, which is giving tithes, why do you think that Yahuah is going to guard you? He'll deliver you. He'll save you. But why do you think he's going to guard your field? Do you really have that confidence that everything's going to be good? The rain's going to come. Your grapes won't be falling on the floor a little too early before it's ready? Verse 12. And all nations shall call you Baruch, for ye shall be a delightsome land, saith Yahuah of hosts. This goes back to the promise that we read in Genesis concerning what Jacob vowed. He vowed to give 10% to Yahuah in return for him to be his Almighty, for him to protect him. Right now, we're so comfortable. We're comfortable working paycheck to paycheck, and we don't fear being fired. Yet AI is set to take over everybody's job. We're going to have to go into the real world and work the land. We're going to have to be producers and not consumers. It's not going to work well for us being in the so-called matrix. In the beginning of Malachi, he speaks concerning the nation not keeping his ordinances, and then he mentioned tithes. And now on verse 13, he's mentioning the ordinances again. Your words have been sought against me, saith Yahuah. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? They that tempt the Almighty are even delivered. So Yahuah will save you even if you don't keep his ordinance, okay? Even if you don't give tithes, he's going to save you. But that doesn't stop the fact that you're robbing him when you don't give tithes. He says we haven't kept his ordinance and mentioned tithes. Tithes is an ordinance that he's talking about in the very beginning of Malachi that we're not keeping. Where does tithes come from? Watch this video. Where does tithes come from? If you read Genesis 28, verse 18 to 22, Jacob promised to give Yahuah 10% of all that Yahuah gave him. It starts at verse 18. Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone he had put for his pillows and set it up for a pillar and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of the place Bethel. But the name of the city was called Luz at first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if the Almighty will be with me, and will keep me in the way that I go, and will give me food and bread, and will give me raiment to put on, so that I come again to my father's house in peace, then shall Yahuah be my Almighty. And this stone which I have set for a pillar shall be the Almighty's house. And all that thou shalt give me will I surely give the tenth unto thee. This vow was put on the whole nation of Israel, not just Jacob. That's why the custom of giving tithes exists. Tithes comes from the promise that your forefather made before Yahuah made him into a great nation. Ye have said, it is vain to serve the Almighty. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before Yahuah of hosts? Now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. So Jacob promised, all that thou shalt give me, I will surely give the tenth unto thee. So there's a great debate concerning tithes as crops, tithes as food that you grow, but most of us are not growing food. So how are we going to come together and gather together and do what Yahuah said for us to do? How is there going to be food in Yahuah's house if we are not given 10% of what we earn? We are all working. We're all making money somewhere, one way or the other. We should have money set aside to do Yahuah's work, to build the nation, to gather together. We're supposed to call an assembly, and we're supposed to be near each other to do so. We're all scattered about. We're not together. And there are things that are needed among the nations, such as judges. There's always been disputes amongst us, amongst the people, because that's just the human nature, okay? Who is judging the people? We need judges. We need matters to be heard. I have a matter or two that needs to be heard. Who do I go to? Who do you go to? Who does she go to? If there is a big issue among the nation, and it's a scriptural issue, it needs to be settled by a council. Who is that council? There needs to be judges. There needs to be people put in position to do different things. And we need to come together as a people. Shalom.